In this 21st century of education, it is believed that having students sit passively in a classroom environment is a teaching and learning practice of the past. Instead of fostering a passive classroom environment, teachers are encouraged to embed active learning situations and experiences into their daily teaching. Similar to these beliefs in the classroom, this week I read about how effective designing technological situations are shifting from passive designing to designing in the wild. And designing in the wild differs from previous approaches by spending time observing, creating, and evaluating new technologies instead of just observing old practices and making adjustments. Overall, this article resonated pretty clearly with me in terms of how education is sort of moving into the wild as well. For instance, this past weekend, I actually just finished reading a book called Reading in the Wild by Donalyn Miller. And in this book, it talks about how teachers can truly instill lifelong wild reading habits into our students. And throughout the book, there are several instances where solid advice and strategies on how to develop, encourage, and assess reading habits will help to cultivate a lifelong love of reading. And these strategies are real life strategies that I can use and implement into my teaching. And part of the reason why I believe so firmly in the strategies that are being presented is because I'm getting the information from a reliable teacher who is in the classroom. And in regards to the article, I completely understand why Rogers noted that it's challenging when these theories have been developed to explain specific instances about cognition in controlled situations, and then they're trying to reapply them to explain other kind of related phenomenon in a different domain, such as interacting with computers. It's a lot harder to relate to. And it's not easy to take and believe information that's not being tested in real life situations, that's not being tested out in the wild. And when theories about human computer interactions are thrown into the real world, I think that we will all believe that we will have a better idea of what type of results we can expect. And even though there are several theories in the behavioral sciences that are beginning to demonstrate how people behave in the real and wild world, they're tending to find traction in the world of interaction design. And there are a lot of revisions that need to take place before people are going to change the behaviors that they are accustomed to pursuing. I mean, we are all humans, and generally, we are all uncomfortable with change. So in order for the wild theory to become a reality, researchers and designers are both going to need to evolve their thinking by expanding out of their comfort zones. No one has ever said that change of any sort is easy, but in order to continue moving forward in our studies and to continue moving forward in the education system, we need to be placing ourselves in a wild environment that encourages people of all ages to rise above their comfort zones to accomplish new and incredible things. It's never easy, but it definitely has to happen.